Are you ready for pain?
Do you hate your beer?
Are you ready for suffering?
Do your guests make fun of you for having shit beer? We're bored, I get it. What are we in day 2 weeks quarantine? We got nothing going on. You're bored. But there's still some stuff for us to do while we're being quarantined. So here it is, fam. The ultimate Corny KEG YouTube video. How to assemble, how to clean, how to change the gaskets, how to take your shirt off, how to fix our post, how to circumcise our dip tubes. Do you know why we have to take care of these things? It's because with a little bit of love and TLC, these things will outlive us. And any product that outlives us, well, that's a good product. Most importantly, it doesn't matter how good your beer recipe is or sounds in your head. If your equipment isn't clean, you're not gonna have good draft beer. I've had 5-gallon batches before that every pint I poured, it had debris in it, it had trub in it. I can deal with that, but I lost a lot of friends in that. It weirded my guests out. My sister actually took me off for MySpace Top 8. Stick around, and by the end of this video, you will have amazing homebrew on draft. Did I ever tell you about the time I got herpes in Alicante in the summer of... We're gonna try a little bit of a different format today. Usually when I make these videos, it's just like bam, 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 precision, voiceover. Like when we do voiceover, that's like as direct as we can be, but there's not really a reason to do that. We're all bored and we got a lot of free time, so I wanted to do this video kind of like how we used to make videos back in the day when it was just like maybe a couple edits here and there. Today's format, this is gonna be like my Bob Ross impersonation. Let me know if you like this new format in the comment section, or if it's boring as hell. I'll read it when I'm going poopy. So first thing what we wanna do is we're gonna wanna release the pressure release valve, or we're probably not gonna be able to get the lid off. First things first, and this could be the most important thing you take from this whole video. Clean early, clean anything. Whether you kick your keg, clean it that day. When you're done with your mash tun, throw the grain out in the dumpster right then and there. When you're done with your boil kettle, hit it with water really fast. I'm not saying you're gonna ruin it if you just let it sit in your garage all night or over summer, but you're gonna make it extremely difficult to clean it when you want to use it again. You don't need to use a brush if you clean your kegs right after it kicks, but you will if you let this dirty keg sit around all summer. All right, the $1 million question, PBW or oxygen? PBW or OxyClean? OxyClean every time. PBW is at least twice the price of OxyClean. You gotta keep in mind, we're pretty much just cleaning stainless steel and plastic. It's not like we need some transmission fluid for a brand new BMW or Mercedes, and you know, one of the fluids is $30 and the other one's $200. Yeah, I probably would spend, you know, the $200 at that point. We are cleaning extremely common household appliances. The same stuff we wash in our sinks. We're washing stainless steel and we are washing plastic for the most part. I know somebody in the comment section is gonna be like, dude, I use PBW, I got this chemistry degree from Harvard, my dad went to Stanford, and I'm always right and your channel sucks. And my answer for that guy is, shut your goddamn mouth. OxyClean in hot water. Now as hot as my bath water goes. Fill it up, turn it on its side, shake it around. Now we're gonna need, if you have a socket, go for it. We're just gonna be using 6, 8, 10-inch adjustable wrenches.
There's something's connected to the red thing. The red thing's connected to my
wristwatch. I'm less slouched. Let's go zoom in though. I'm way less slouched. I'm way less slouched. Do you hear the rain? Now here's the thing, not all corny kegs are the same. Some are gonna look a little bit different. See, like this one has this like star kind of sun circular fitting on it. These are in circulation, but they're not as common as the one that we're using to demonstrate this video on. But I will add a link in the description for the proper wrench for that. Now I'm gonna get a small pot with my OxyClean and hot water to put in the posts, and I'm learning this YouTube thing. Check this out. If you wanna learn how to ferment beer in one day, click right here. You like that? All right, the dip tube is the toughest to clean. Let's talk about how we're gonna clean it. Are you ready to see the absolute best way to clean your dip tube? So we got our dip tube on the outside. And we've got our gas on the inside, like that, boom. Chances are your dip tube's never been cleaned before. They put soda in these things, real funky stuff. I feel it right now. I feel it right now, they're both sticky. They got gunk on them. They've got little gaskets right here. This one's falling apart. We do have gaskets. We're gonna talk about that in a second. You could either clean these and replace them, but this one is literally on the fritz right here. And here's my gas, here's my beer tube. These things really get nasty with hops. And secondary stuff if you're doing fruit in your beers and stuff. And soda. Originally corny cakes were used for soda. So you might have some residual sugar from like 10, 15, 20 years ago still in that dip tube. And that's what you're serving to your guests. There's a pretty good chance your dip tube has never been cleaned. So let's clean it properly. Shout out to those who made it this far. Keep sticking around. You might hear your name at the end of this video. Here's the name of the game. Do not buy dip tubes from homebrew stores. They are a ripoff. You're gonna see a dip tube for like $7 or $8 for one. It's because you're typing in the wrong thing. What you want to type in is not dip tube brush. You want to type in pipe cleaner, 12-inch pipe cleaner. I got this one right here off Amazon. It doesn't even have a brand name on it. That's how you know it's legitness. You don't have to show off, fam. I like them already. Picking up background music again. It's the rain. I'm freezing my titties off. I'm gonna put a link in the bio to all the stuff that I'm using that's gonna have like the most resourceful, cheapest, economical, last you a lifetime link to everything that I'm using in this video. And I'm not making, I don't get a piece of that. If I'm making the video, let's make the video and let's do it right. I'm not plugging anybody's shitty company or anything, or legit company. I say that word shitty too much. It's kind of a shitty thing to do. I used to have like DIY hacks on how to clean my dip tubes, but like these things are $5. If there's something $5 that you could buy, you don't need to DIY hack anything. It's $5. This could be at your house in 2 days. I hear it coming in. You hear that rain? The show's going on. The show's going on, fam. It's cold. I've got a sweatshirt on. I put sweatpants on. I took my sweatshirt off. I got my Ugg boots on. We're getting crazy out here. It's the quarantine video. It's the Homebrew for Life. It's the one-man show. So at this point in the video, you're probably not even watching the video. You're back on Pornhub punching your clown for the 3rd time today. But we've got our dip tube. It's been soaking in hot water in PBW. We've got about 3 or 4 gallons in here. And what you're gonna do is we're gonna take there's different sizes in this one. And you want to get the 12-inch. Because if you hit it from both sides, that looks about 12 inches. Because if you hit it from both sides, you'll be able to clean the whole thing. So look at that. We'll call that a foot. And then we'll call it a foot from there. So we get it all the way in there. So dip it in here. I'm gonna dip it in there a little bit. And we're gonna clean this bad boy. Just like that. Nothing's gonna get clogged. We're just gonna sit here, we're gonna have some fun. It is funky. Hit it from the other side. It's looking pretty good, to be honest. I bet yours is gross as hell. I clean mine often. And this is the most crucial thing that's gonna prevent you from having clean homebrew on draft at your house. This is it right here. This thing gets funk in it. And a lot of people, when they clean these, they just keep this in there, clean the outside, and that does nothing because everything that goes in there goes, you know, obviously to the inside. All those hops, all that puree, that peach puree, that time you did that Berliner Weiss, it all ends up going through here, all the soda from 1974, and it clogs this thing up. So before we put it back, I'm gonna talk about the gaskets in the next chapter of this video, and I'm gonna put the chapters in the comment section. But for the time being, let's just take the gaskets off our beer tube and let's drop it in our small pot right there. And let's, now I'm gonna do the same with my, God, this is sticky. I'm gonna take the gasket off and put both the gasket as well as the top of the gas in, I don't even know what we call this thing. Call it whatever you want, you'll know what it is. This is our gas. Gas comes in through there. I'm gonna put it both right here. I don't like sticky on that. That means there's residual old ass sugar from who knows however how long ago. I'm proud of you guys for making it this far. Let's do a cheers. Let's do a cheers. Boop. Unedited mandatory beer chug. Mo, 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 mo. Ah, that's what it looks like. So now we're just gonna take a little bit off the top. If you have a grinder, this will take you about 10 seconds, but grinders are expensive. And unless your job requires you to do demolition, you probably don't have one of these at home. But here's an affordable alternative. This small pipe cutter is $12 on Amazon, and I'll throw in a link in the bio. Okay, so I'm gonna measure exactly 1 inch. And let's get this thing on here. I do this for a couple reasons. First, it keeps the dip tube cleaner, so I don't have to clean it as often. And now it's pretty much never gonna get clogged. Just keep tightening it. Just keep tightening it, going around. People think that this wastes beer, but I don't agree with that at all. If you don't do this, the dip tube just sits at the bottom, and the first pint that you pour out and the last pint that you pour out are pretty much gonna be mud. Some brewers don't mind that, but preferably, I'd like to keep my dip tube circumcised. I just like having the liquid away from the tube. People dry hop in kegs, usually, you know those like keg bags with the sterilized marbles? And all right, here it is. Our dip tube has been cut, and our poster's sitting in Oxy Clean and hot water right now. Let's look at the anatomy of a post. It comes in 3 parts. A post, give me that autofocus, baby. A spring, which goes inside of it. I'm trying to get a better shot of this. I'll shoot some B-roll. And then the gasket right here. And yours might look a little bit different, but it's still gonna consist of these 3 parts. I'm not sure if you wanna just clean your gaskets on your gas and dip tube, but I'm gonna change mine out. I've accumulated these bags over the years. Gaskets obviously don't last as long as stainless steels, so sooner or later you're gonna have to clean them out. There's a total of 5 gaskets on every corny keg. You're gonna have 2 little black ones, which are for your dip tube, your CO2 tube, and the little one. And then each post will have one, and then obviously the big black one at the end. And these ones are stronger. Obviously the gasket on that is thicker, but gaskets do get a lot of wear and tear, especially the ones on the post, because that's when you're like, you know, plugging your connectors into, so it's just, you know, rubbing against more stuff. God, it's picking up a lot of shit still. Is this thing crooked? Looks okay. Take me down. Got a couple things. Before you put your post back on, you might want to hit it with your pipe brush cleaner, or maybe if you have an old toothbrush, or you want to use your current toothbrush and then use that, and then you go buy a new toothbrush. The springs look identical. This is doesn't matter which post these go in, or beer, or vice versa. But the posts, this is very important, are different. And this could be really frustrating if you put these on wrong. Generally, more often than not, you see how this one's got like, come on, autofocus. It's got like a notch in it. It kind of looks like 2 nuts. It's this one right here. It's got like the notch in the middle of it. This is your gas. If you put them on wrong and you put your connectors on wrong and they get stuck, it is a bitch to get off. I've broken plastic and it can be very frustrating if you don't have a backup connector. And even if you don't break it and it just gets stuck, it's a nightmare to get off. The little black ones, you just roll them up all the way. 2 brand new black gaskets. Was this video gonna be like 2 weeks long? I'd be very surprised if anybody's here right now. At this point in the video, just roll these up like that. Boom, 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 boom. Brand new gasket, nice and snug. Put that in there. Your corny KEG should say out on it. Let's put that in there. All the way down. Let's get our beer. Here's our gas one right here. Here's our little gas one. Let's get the new black little gasket on it. And let's put that on right there. Snug as a bug with a rug. Let's get our springs in each one of these posts. And like I said again, the one with the divot, the one that looks like it's got the double nut, that goes on the gas side or in. Might have to play around with the corny KEG a little bit, shake it upside down, so or turn it on its side if you need to, or else it won't get all the way in there. Perfect. Okay, so coming down to the wire, guys. Now what I want to do is I want to change the gaskets out on our posts. Like I said before, these get more wear and tear than the small little black ones do. Small little black ones, they're not really touching any, or they're not really, you know, getting clamped in and clamped down on. They're just down. So in this little pack, it comes with this. Kind of looks like something like, you know, some low budget dentist might have. If you have a small flathead screwdriver, it works the same. I'm not gonna throw these away. I'm gonna just put them in a stash. I'm just saving for a rainy day. Maybe a buddy needs one someday, and that has happened. Actually, I had a friend just come over took these gaskets off a KEG I had of mine. We made a sangria KEG at a restaurant next to his brewery. That'll be a different story. That'll be a different video. How to make sangria. Carbonated sangria is so much better than this shit that they just pour out of like the room temperature jars you see, like, but that's for another video. Carbonated sangria is super damn good. What I want to say, there's a lot of different colors, red, blue, green. I don't think that means anything. I've had red on gas, I've had red on beer, and both of them sometimes have been too loose or too tight, and you don't want either of that. What you want to do is you want to make sure that around your post, and you don't want it to be too loose, you don't want it to be too tight. You want it to stick out. You want it to kind of like bulge out a little bit. These are different sizes. If it's too loose, it'll move around, you'll have a leak. And if it's too tight, it won't even act. And if it's too tight, it won't even act as a gasket. So just kind of play around with them. That's good right there. Generally, I just find that the blue ones work better. And look at that. Voila. Again, it's got a little bit of wiggle room. I can just kind of move it around like that, but it's not loose. Again, every corny KEG, you know, there's a lot of different corny KEGs in circulation. You know, you could read something that says red is for that color, blue is for that color, green and that, but you really just want to feel it out. And then the big black one. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect it to my CO2 tank and the black beer connector, and I'm gonna run all the hot water and OxyClean out of the KEG right now, just so it gets in the tube that we just cleaned and it just flushes everything out. Maybe hit it again with a little bit of hot water. Sanitize it before you fill it again, and you're good to go. Congratulations. If you made it this far, then you pretty much have a brand new corny KEG.